like what is a Java main method and what are the access modifier in Java and how to use. So what are the benefit we can use that? Okay, and what is a Java variable? What type of Java variable we have in the Java? Okay, and what are the usages? Why we need to use? Okay, and also we have a Java data types. So how many type of data types Java will support? Okay, and their use. Okay, and also there is a last topic called Java operators. So Java operators and how the Java operators helps to operating operationals. Okay, so those are the things we are going to learn. Yeah, and before going to that, so let me create a new project for our example and exercises. Okay, so let me create a Java main Maven project. So Java sessions. So in the Java sessions, I will add all the Java classes. And I will create a one package. So after creating this particular project, right? So you can create a package. So here is a package. So com.sessions. So all the sessions will be there. And this project will be uploaded to your GitHub. Okay. So I will tell you tomorrow how to set up your GitHubs also. Okay. So from here, all the sessions, what are the explaining the session exercises, I will commit to this GitHub repository. So by the way, you can refer for that one. Okay. Yeah. So let's come back to the topics and yeah. So what is a Java main method? Okay. So Java main method is an entry point where the Java program will execute. Okay, so the Java guys, they provided the development time. So they created a one Java main method. Okay, so which will help to execute that program. So when we call as an entry point or starting point means the program will be executed from the Java main method. Okay, so and also it is a predefined method and the syntax is this one. So public, static, void, main, and the flower bracket. Sorry, the bracket which is that there is a string type and arguments. Okay, so this is a standard format and which is predefined one. Okay, so we have to declare as the same like this one: public, static, void, main, and bracket open and string argument as the array. Okay, so here what is a public? Okay, so what is a public? Public is a access modifier. Public is a access modifier. So this access modifier public has some specific accessibility. So enter the project level or some kind of restriction. So access modifier which will be explained the later point of time, but public is a anywhere we can access program. Okay, anywhere we can access this method, right? And there is a static keyboard. Okay, static is representing a class level. Okay, so it is a class level object, we can say a class level. And a return type. Okay, which means it does not return any value. The main method which does not return any value. And the main is a method name. Okay, main is a method name. And so this is a string data type. Okay, and arguments as a array type. So which means this particular main method which accept command and argument as a multiple values, multiple array type of values, multiple string values. Okay, so when you create a main method, so by the way, so like when you pass a multiple kind of values by using this particular argument. Okay, so people will ask you that many questions. So let's see that. So you have to declare this one. Let's do one exercise for this one practical example. Okay, let me clear this one and let's create a one program. Main method test example. Okay, it is a class name. So class name. Okay, so it is a Java class. So what is a Java class? How to create a Java class? Everybody knows, right? Create, right click, right. Here we have a C at the rate Java class. So by using the Java class, you can provide the class name. Okay, once you provide the class name, then this particular syntax or the code will be generated. Okay, so let me explain that clearly here. So here you can see the package name. Package name in the sense in the Explorer side, in the project Explorer side, you can see that this is a package. Okay, folder structure, and this class is existing are available on that are created in this particular folder. Okay, so that is the one. Okay, and so as we know, right, this is a public, okay, keyword, access modifier, and there is a class keyword. Okay, so how do we represent a class? By using the class keyword followed by a class name. Okay, so this in Java, a class keyword represent followed by name of the class. Okay, it is the name of the class. What is the name of the class? Main test example is the name of the class. Main text example is the name of the class. And there are two kind of brackets, flower brackets. This is the starting flower bracket and ending flower bracket. Okay, so which means the scope of the class is this one. So till here we have a scope for this class. So what are the things you can declare in the Java within the class only? So outside of the class we cannot declare anything. Okay, Java. So if you declare outside of the thing anything, it will not take. Okay, so that is the reason. So whenever you create a class, so class must be a public, and class keyword is there, and followed by class name must be there, and class name must be start with the capital camel case. The second word, third word, if you have multiple words, should be declared as a capital. So a main is a M is a capital, T is a capital. Okay, and example X E is a capital. So that is the way we can declare it. Okay. Yes. So the scope of the class we can say inside the class. So going forward, I'll tell you that some kind of things. Scope. Okay, scope of the class in the sense. So from the flower bracket to end of the flower bracket, this is a class scope. Okay. So starting a class scope. Okay, starting class scope, starting of the class and ending of the class. Ending of the class.
So what
So
is
in
static, sir?
between,
In the previous one, the previous slide, it is there. Can you go to that slide?
yeah,
Static
yeah, yeah.
keyword.
I will come back. I will come back. Yeah. So here within that we can write our code. Okay. So there is a starting of a class which will represent as a flower bracket, and ending of the class there is a ending flower bracket. Okay. So next, yeah, I'll come to the other point. So here, so next point is, so we are talking about the main method, right? So we can declare a public. Okay, public is the access modifier. Sorry, okay, and it is a keyword as well. Okay, and public static and void main. So we can declare a main method as like this. And as I told you, this is the entry or entry point. Okay, it is an entry point for execution. And let me explain that. Yeah. So public is the access modifier, and static in the sense. So this main method, okay, this main method does not require to create an object to run this one, because JVM itself it create an object for executing a main method. So that is the reason. So static is representing we have some kind of later point of time I will explain detail, but as of now, static is a class level variable, and this method does not require any object creation. So automatically JVM Java runtime it will identify the main method as a predefined method, and it start execution. Okay, whatever the code which within this particular main method, that will be executed. Okay, so let me show you that, and let's write a one kind of print statement. So as we know, print statement. So system.out.println is a print out like you can within the double quotation whatever the value you provided, that will be printed in the console. Okay, so it is a main method. Okay, so let me run this one. How to run is, so right click, and here you can see that there is a run the class name main test example dot main method. Okay, so how it is representing? So run and the class name main test dot, there is a main method. Okay, predefined main method. So it is an entry point, as I told you, right? It is a starting point, entry point, your execution. Okay, any class in Java, so there is a main method is a starting criteria to execute our program. You see, it is it is a main method. So
So
system
static
dot
means
out.
no need to create any object, sir. No need to create any object
Huh,
for main class, right?
correct, yeah. So no need to create a object. So and also it is a main method. So the uh, main method. So JVM it will identify automatically. Okay, it is a predefined method. Okay. So in normal method, I will tell you that. In normal method, also we have a static. That time I will explain in detail. But as of now, static method does not record any object creation. Okay.
So
So that
void
is
means
it.
no return type, basically.
Yeah. Void means it does not return any value.
But
Okay.
here it is main
Yes.
method is returning, na? The value is main method is returning,
No,
right?
no, nothing is returning. Just it is printing that. Returning in the sense which value will be returned. Something. Suppose if I make it here int. Okay. So if I make int, the value should return. Integer type value should be returned. And also you can see that there is a one error, right? Because main method itself is not return any value. By default, it is a predefined code. This entire keyword is predefined. That is the reason people will ask in the interview why we use main method. Without main method, can't we execute our program? So that is a telephonic kind of questions will come. And the later point of time, I will explain the method overloading. Can we do the method overloading as a main method? Method overriding, can we do the by using main method? Some kind of interview question will be there. Before that, so I'll try to understand that what is the main thing of about this one. Okay, what is the main? Why we use? What are the predefined keywords along with this main? What is the purpose? Okay, so as we know, right, public is a access modifier. Okay, we can access anywhere. Okay, return type indicates that main method does not return any value. Okay, so unlike other methods we have, we can return, and string arguments we can pass the command line values, right? Yeah. So main method is always static. Okay. So main method is always static. That compiler can call it's without creating any object. Okay, without creating object because it is an entry point, right? So we don't need to create object of this class. Okay. So that is the one. Yeah.
And
So
args, sir, args also can you explain, sir? Args is a string is there. It's a primitive data type. Args is arguments, huh? Can you
yeah,
explain
this
something?
is the args. Args is a argument, and a string type of argument you can pass. Okay, suppose if you pass one argument, you can pass arg. So in the square bracket, which come to know is a many like or one or more arguments, command line argument you can pass as a string format. Those will be in a string format. So that is the one. Okay. Yeah. Let's
Not
go to
understanding, sir, that
the
one. Args is confusing actually. Array of string
yeah.
type.
Yeah, let me tell you that. See, it is a string, right? So the string and it is a reference. Okay. And the type, this is the square bracket is a array. So array concept we can have in later point of time. Let me explain that. So
Here
in
we are not using
integer,
any array, na? So without that we cannot execute the
wait,
program, sir. We are not
no, no,
using
no,
any
no.
array.
See, it is a
Mhm.
optional. It is a optional. So which you want to run this command from right now we are running from the in the IntelliJ, right? But you want to run your command from the command line. So in the command line also we can run our Java programs, right? There you want to explicitly send some kind of values, like suppose Srinivas or Nagesh, something like. So the multiple values we can send it. So the way you need to execute your commands through command line. So this main program need to be execute and accept the some external arguments. So external parameters by using the string main method. So that time we can use it. Okay. Yeah. And Yeah. Next one is like access modifier. Okay. So there are why we use access modifier in a sense. So this topic is a little bit kind of tough because the access modifier which can be applied many formats, like many formats in the sense it can be applied variable, class, interfaces, okay, constructor, okay, and the data members. So currently I'll focus on the variable, and later point of time I will, when I'm explaining the methods, that time I will again explain the access modifier about the method, how and which where we can apply, and also while explaining that constructor, what is the constructor and all, that time also I will bring out this particular access modifier. Okay, so this is a kind of a tricky part because this access modifier we used from all of this content like classes, class level, interface level, okay, and variable level, method level, constructor level, data member level, and the setter methods level. Okay, so basically, what are the access modifier in sense? So there is a defined accessibility from one class to another class or one package to another package. Okay, one method to another method. So there is a data. So you want to hold in the particular a class level. So how do you declare? So there is a data you with respect to the single method. So how do you represent that? So and there is a data which belongs to only the constructor level. So how do you declare? So based on that, so this access modifier are bring into in Java. Okay. So the first access modifier is a default access modifier. So default means so there is a no name. You just declare the name. Okay. So the data member in the sense like a variable are methods. Okay. If the data members have a no access modifier, so which means it is a default. Okay. So let me create the class and I will explain one by one. Access modifier example. Let me create a main method. Yeah. So suppose if I declare one variable int a, okay, so which means I did not define any value. So which means it is a default access modifier. Okay, default access modifier. Okay, so default access modifier. So before that there is a no, nothing is there, which means it is a default. Okay, and there is a private access modifier. Okay, private access modifier. So if the data member is declared using a private keyword, okay, it means it is a private to the class. Okay, the data member is private to the class. Whether it is a private to the class, within the class, private to the method or constructor. That's what. So it is a kind of different topic, so which we will carry out, but I will definitely explain one by one. So right now, so I'm a specific focus on my variable type only. Okay. So a private access modifier define the method level. So with respect to the method level only, without, which means it cannot be accessed to the outside of the native classes, means other classes, other subclasses, child classes, something like. Okay, so let me declare one more variable, private, private int b. Okay, private int b. So here you can declare private variable. So here, so this is the variable and access modifier is a private. Okay, so it is a default one and it is a private one. Let me carry out this one here. Private access modifier. Okay, so next, the protected one. Okay, so the protected one which has some capability like there is a concept called inheritance. So yeah, so where we can use, right, there is a concept called inheritance in Java, so which means there is a superclass subclass as extended and they can share each other some data. So that time we can use the protected data. Okay, protected access modifier, and that visibility with only the which are the classes are extended. Okay, which are the classes are extended by using inheritance. So that case only. Okay, So there is a private in the sense nobody can access outside of the class. So we are giving some enhancement or some accessibility, some child classes. Okay, some child classes which they extended. So we are giving some accessibility to the particular variable or methods. So that is the case. So private is a purely the class level. Okay, if you declare that this particular int b value, we cannot access any outside the classes. Okay, and so if you protected in the sense there is a this accessibility access modifier class, there is a one more class is extended. That time we are passing some kind of like accessibility more. Okay, so to do that we can declare a access modifier is protected. Okay, I'll explain in detail, but later point of time. But I just to follow this introduction session. Okay, and there is a public access modifier. So public in the sense with respect to the all native classes or all methods, all variables outside of the classes, different packages also they can access. Okay, so packages in the sense here. So there is a one more package, right? So private in the sense class level, protected in the sense if there is a one more class here is there and it is relationship is inheritance, then it will access. But now the public is entire project level you can able to access. Public, if you declare any variable as a public, and that will be access to the entire the public access modifier. With respect to the method and class level, outside of the class we can pass. Okay. The next one is like Java variables. Okay. So this is also a very basic
Protected
topic.
and private, can you explain, sir? Public is okay. Just what is the main difference between private and protected? Because both look similar only.
Yeah, it is not similar actually. Okay. See, we see this class we have some kind of see this is a one class and this is a one class. So there are three classes, right? Okay. So if I declare the private, okay, so these two classes will not access this value. Okay, that is clear, right? And so there is a protected. You are asking about protected, right? So this is the variable is declared within the class protected. Okay, and these two class have a relationship, sub parent and child relationship in Java, so which we call as the inheritance topic. So there I will explain in detail, but as of now you ask, right? So here that time we are giving some accessibility to this one, and even though this protected, but there is a no relationship between the third class, protected value will not be accessed this one. So this is the one difference. But if you declare a public, whether you have a relationship of parent and child or super to subclass relationship or does not have any relationship, even though the public access modifier can access to this class and this class. Okay, other classes. Clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So next, okay. So Java variables. So what is the Java variables? So Java variables are look like a container, okay, which can store some data. So why we use data? Why we use? So in our Java, any programming language, we will talk about some data exchange and data storage, right? So that is the case. So we required a Java variables, right? And Java variables also called as some memory locations. Okay, in the JVM there is a memory location, some register as cells. So there we can store the data. So, but there is a reference required, right? To store the data, to fetch the data, right? So that is the case in Java. So we have a variable concept, and the variable is a kind of variable name. So we can give the name. Okay, here you see the variable is a count. That is a name of the variable, right? And this count type is there. Okay, what type of data which can hold? Okay, the every variable has a name and every variable has a data type. What type of data can hold? So if you mark has a int, so this particular count variable can hold integer data type only. Okay, so only the integer data can hold. Okay, So that is the reason. So value is the assigned value, assigned to the value. Okay. So variable is the identifier, which uniquely identifier. So we can get that. Okay. So count equal to 100 if we store. So then in the memory 100 will be available, and the address is a count. So when you call in between the like in the program, middle of the program, when you require to this 100 value, you no need to call 100 directly. You can give the variable name as a count. Okay, variable name as count, then value will come as 100. And while storing the data, you need a format type. Okay, 10. Suppose it is an integer type, but you need to add integer value only. So you declare as integer, but if you pass as a string, then it throw the error. Okay, so that is a kind of thing. So data type which can have, I will explain in the next lesson. I think in the before slide, next slide, going forward, I will explain this in detail of
But actually,
what
some
type
bytes
of
will be
data.
there, na, sir. Integer, some bytes will be in the background allocated.
Yeah, in the next slide, I will explain it. Yeah. So here, let me understand again. So let me clearly tell, I will explain again. So here you can see there is a data type, integer data type, and a variable name is a count. So which means it is a declare. Okay, how do you declare? So this is the declaration part. Just we declare, so nothing is assigned. Okay, so that time memory location. So just it will create a memory, and the count will be assigned the address. So that's it. So nothing is there on that. But there is a type, second variable and second way of declaration. So int is a data type and age is a variable name, and equal to is assigned a value. So that means it is declared and also initialized. So now there is a memory. Okay. And the variable name is age, and also value is stored is a 20. Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, so we can declare some variable, and we can declare and assign the we can kind of variables based on our needs. Okay, so there is a one more example. Just I give the example as a string. Okay, data type is a string type, and name is a variable name, and within the double quotation, it is a string format way to declare the value welcome. Okay, so this is the way. Okay, so whenever you declare a variable, first one is a data type followed by a variable name, and assign some value. So that is a kind of declare and initialize the value. So in the JVM, right, RAM, in that value I told you that memory location, there is a memory location which will be created, and assign the variable name is a age. So when you bring that value or when you update the value, this variable is a reference to our program. Our program level, we refer the name only. Okay. Yeah. So let me show you the one example, then we come back. Let me clear this one. Please listen carefully. Going forward, we will have some advanced concept. Before that, let me explain you very basic, because it is very needed. Okay. So let me create that. So I told you, right, first is a data type. So let me give here also, I'll give the syntax data type, data type, data type, and variable name. Okay, just this is the declaration. Okay, just declared. And there is another syntax, data type, variable name, and assign some value. Okay, assign some value. So this is the way we can declare. Okay, declaration, initialization, initialization. Okay, so now suppose I am declaring an integer type int. Okay, number. Okay, I just only declared. Okay, so number is my variable, and the data type is a int. So this is the way declared. And also let me declare one more integer, number two, and equal to 20. Okay, so this 20 value is assigned. So number two is a variable name, integer type. Suppose if I declare integer type, and if I pass some kind of a string type, right? So which will throw the error. Okay, compiler will throw the error. Required type is int, but which you assign the value is a string type. So I will not take it, something like. Okay, it will throw the error. So type is important when you declare any variable. And as we know, right, in real time in the last session, ATM student class variables. What are the properties for the student? Student name, student age, okay, student age, student address. So based on the properties, the type will be vary for the data storage. So student name is a string, student age is a integer type. Okay, student address. So that is the way we can think and use this kind of variables and data types. Okay, yes, and also we have some kind of uh, data types. Okay, type of data types. Okay, sorry, variables. So we have a kind of variables, different types actually. So based on the scope, okay, based on the scope and based on the usage. So we have a three categories like local variables, okay, and instance variables and static variables. So we can learn in detail and one by one, and I will provide also the rules. So here we can we know, right, this three kind of things we have some kind of defined rules. So we must use in Java local variable how to declare and where to use. Similarly, what is the instance variable and how to declare and where to use, why to use, something like. Similarly, for the static variable, what is the declaration of the static and what are the rules we need to follow. Okay, so let's first one is a local variable. Okay, so please follow that very by seeing that definitions are very simple and remember, but while writing our program we will get many kind of doubts. Okay, so local variables as declared, okay, inside the body of the method. Okay, so you see that. So whenever we create any local variable, we will create only method level only. Okay, please remember that. So whenever you create any local variable within the method only, we can create it. Okay, and the second one, instance variable. Instance variables are declared inside the class. Okay, and but outside of the body of the method. Okay, so which means only the class level. Okay, I'll tell you that while defining time. Okay, so you can remember that. So instance variables are within the class and outside of the methods. Okay, outside of the methods. And the third one is static variable. Static variable also within the class, but there is a static keywords which follows a variable before that there is a static keywords. Okay, so let me create that one for this definition and we can talk about the one by one. Okay, so currently which we declare right here. So int number two equal to 20. So these two are local variables. Why? These two are local variables. By seeing the definition, you can see a variable declare inside the method body, then which we call as a local variable. So here, what is a method? It is a main method. Okay, within the main method, you declare some kind of variables, and those are local variable. Suppose it is a predefined method. Right? If you take another method called public void test method. Okay, I'm declaring some custom method. Okay, and also I can create a like uh, suppose int a. Okay, so this is also like a local variable. Within the method we can create a local variable. Okay, and the local variables must be initialized. Okay, so before using that it would be initialized. Okay, and and we cannot make public private any access modifier. Okay, So local variables does not follow that. Okay, any access modifier, there is a no access modifier in front of the local variables. Okay, first point is local variables within the class, we can create it. Okay, so by using time, we can assign the value, and we cannot use that access, any access modifier. If you declare access modifier, it will throw the error. Modifier private is not allowed here because it is a local variable. It doesn't require any access modifier. And the scope, when I call the scope in the sense, this is a scope. So when this method is executed, till now the a equal to 100 is available in the memory. Okay. Then if a method is execution is done, then this particular 100 value will not be there in the RAM. That is the one. Okay. So next one. So instance variable, right? So here you please identify that. Let me draw that square. So this is the entire class. Okay. So
బట్టలు
entire class.
తీసేయడం పెట్టు శ్రీధర్, నేను హీటర్ వేసి ఆరేస్తా.
Okay. So please
ఇంకోటి
mute.
కూడా క్లీన్ చేయరాదు
Can you mute yourself? Getting some voice.
సమ్మి? అది చేసిన చూడు, గ్యాస్ మీద ఉంది.
So
Yeah,
void
please go and
means it
mute.
doesn't return
We are-
anything. Sir, void means it doesn't return anything, na? So
yes,
if
yes.
you want to return some value in public, so we need to remove void. Suppose I want to print a value 100 in line number 10. So then I need to remove void, is it, or not required?
Yeah, I will come back that
System
void. You have a little confusion. So I'll come back to your white bar. Okay. So please wait some time. In the method level, I will clarify that your doubt. You are asking this multiple time. So in the method level, I will explain in detail. Okay. It is not a method concept, right? That is the reason. Please. Okay. Sorry for that because I'm tracking like the basic level. Like most of the guys are having requested from the basic level. So they need to understand, right? So, but if I explain also, you only understandable, but others will be not aware of that kind of thing. So let me bring out that one by one. Okay. So sorry for that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, where we are. Yeah. So yeah, let me take it you like a class. So this is a class scope. Okay. And this is a method scope. Okay. And there is a one more method I return. So these are the two methods. Okay, let me write this one. This is the entire class. Okay, it is a class and it is a custom method. Okay, custom method means one method, and it is a main method. Main method. Okay, it is a method, custom method. Okay, so now local variables where we declare within the method only, within the method, local variables. Now I am declaring a like instance variables. So as I told you, as I explained in this definition, instance variables declare inside the class, but outside of the method body. Whether you have methods, okay, whether you have method in the class, those will be outside of the method. So let me take it to the session. Yeah. So now you see, now that based on the definition, so method scope will be here. Okay, this is the area, and this is the area we can declare. And outside of the method, this is outside. This is also outside. And in between gap, right, you can also declare here. But we usually declare in the top instance variables. Okay, here is the place we can declare the instance variable. Local variables are method level. Instance variables are within the class and outside of the methods. Within the class and outside of the method. That you have to remember. Okay. So now I am declaring a number like age. Okay. Age is 36 something like. Okay. And it is a instance variable. What is the scope? It is a class level. Okay, so right now it is a class, and instance variable we can provide a access modifier. Instance variable can be private, can be public, can be default, can be protected. Okay, so we can apply instance variable. Okay, instance variable we can declare a, so it doesn't declare in the sense it is a default. Okay, it is a default. Let me create all the types here. So then you come to know. Okay, so there is a, I am declaring one more, like variable name is like mark one, or like marks, or like age, phone number, phone number, or admin number, admission number, admin number. Sorry. Okay, so this time it is public. Okay, so instance variable is a public type, and instance variable we can declare a protected. Okay, so integer type, and there is a number 3. Okay, number, some number, and there is a private variable and number 4. So like that you can define that. Okay, so these are the rules. Okay, let me tell you that. Yeah, so let me copy and paste it here, then you come to know. So it is a public access mod, yeah, public variable, public and a protected instance variable, and a private instance variable. Okay, so now we created a instance variable as a default instance variable, public, protected, and private. So where we declare within the class and outside of the methods. So within the methods which we declare only local variables. Okay. So then there is the last one. What is that? Static variable. How to declare static variable? So we use the static keyword. So it is similar like instance variable, where we can declare similarly instance out of the methods and outside of the methods and within the class. So static int number 5. Okay, so here it is look like a instance variable, but there is a keyword called static. So then automatically it is a static variable. So there is a first specific reason. So why when we use static we will use for memory better memory management. Okay, I'll come to the in depth. So static keyword, final keywords are very, very important in the interview time. But static, when we use static level variable, static level method, okay, so that time, so why we use in the sense better memory management. Okay, so for example, so there is a student, okay, with respect to one college, right? So college is common to all the student. If I create 100 objects of student, so which I no need to create 100 college names, right? Because every student has a one college, right? So for that case, so we can declare a static variable for that purpose. Okay, every object there is a common every student has a common value, common college, something like. Okay, so that is the purpose we can use. Okay, static variable within the class and outside of the method. Okay, and there are two rules I need to explain. Okay, so here for instance variable, right? So whenever you want to access the instance variable, you require to create an object. Okay, you require to create an object. How to create an object? Anyone? First session who attended? How to create an object? Object creation syntax. Anyone?
variable example and object name equal to new variable example. And
Class.
Yes, correct. Class name. So let's
Class name
talk
followed
class name.
by the object.
Class name,
Object reference
object reference. Yeah,
is
object
equal to
reference.
new class name.
Yes, correct. So she also correct. Yeah, yeah. So what is the class name? Class name is a variable example. Yeah, which you told you are correct. Okay, and obj and ref equal to new is a keyword to create an object and followed by the constructor. Okay, so this is the way we can create. So the thing is here the rule, whenever you create an instance variable, whenever you want to access the instance variable, you have to create an object. Okay, you have to create an object. So by using this object only we can access, otherwise we cannot access. So let me, I created but I will not directly call by you, I will not use. So let me use that add bit number. Okay, so let me directly, if I use add bit number, so it is through the error. Okay, the first error is non-static field not bit number cannot be referenced to the static. One more thing here is main method is a static. That is the case you are accessing instance values. It is not like it is not directly accessed. We need to create an object. So we already created an object reference. Create object reference is this one. By using the object reference, you can access the value. Object reference dot that value instance value name, the variable name. Now you can access it. Okay, and so coming to this static right, so by using class name, okay, without creating object you can, by using class name you can create. Okay, so static variables can be accessible using class name. Okay, no objects. See, don't draw please. Okay, so without Srinivas to something drawing. Srinivas Srikanth, you're drawing something here. Okay, without creating an object. Yeah. Srinivas, you are drawing something in my screen. Please stop that one. Okay. So the topic is like right now what I'm explaining is, so static variable. I want to access static variable. How to access? Only by using class name. No need to create an object. Okay, no need to create an object. So let me do that. So system.out.println, and so what is our static variable is a 5, number 5. So just you can do that. Okay, by using class name. What is the class name? Class name is variable.example. Variable.example dot this. Okay, so there is one more rule which I explained. For instance variable, we require an object creation. Then after we can use it. But a static variable, so no need to create any object. By using directly class name, we can access this particular static values. What is this one? Okay, we are in the same class, right? That is the case. So the class, main class is there, right? Yeah. So you see, the admit number is 1256. Okay, and the number static is static. Okay, so let's see the rule theoretically what I was explained. So go to the local variable rules. Let me clear the draw. Yeah. Yes. So look, yeah, let me refer again. Okay. So local variables are declared in the blocks or method level or constructor. Okay. So right now I explained for method level only. So you can also declare a constructor level or block level. Okay. So that is the one. So let me I will explain the code where it is. So it is in the local variable within the main method or within the test method. Okay. So that is the one. And also the access modifier cannot be have any access modifier. Sorry. So any local variable does not include or does not follow any access modifier. So which means we cannot create a local variable with a public or private or protected. So it doesn't require. So it will throw the error. Okay. And next point is, so variables are local variables must be declared. Okay, before initializing. So that is the case, right? We declare a int 100, something like. Okay, and local variables, and also few another topic. So we can use local variables and loops. Okay, going forward, I will explain. Don't bother about that. Okay, local variable where we can use loops and blocks that time. So when the loop is completed, then the local variable will be destroyed. So which means within the loop, the scope will be there. Okay, so that is about the local variable. Now coming to instance variable. So as I told you, right? So declared inside the class, but outside of the methods, or if you have methods outside of the method, if you have a constructor outside of the constructor, and if you have a block outside of the block, something like. Okay, the scope is within the class only. Okay, and instance variables are automatically initialized by default value if you are not initialized. So which means you have, suppose here we created like a age, right? So if I did not assign the value, so when I did not assign, when the object is created, the default value will be assigned. What is the default value? We'll see later. Okay, next slide. Yeah. And so access modifier can be applied. So we can, any access modifier we can apply. So that is the case. We created a instance variable as a default instance variable as a age, and public as a admit number, protected instance variable as a number 3, and private access modifier for number 4. Variable names are declared. Okay, and the instance variables are destroyed when the object is created. Okay, when object is destroyed, sorry, when object is initialized, that time it will be initialized. When the object is destroyed in the sense it's vanished. Okay, that time the values will be vanished, something like. Okay, and instance variable cannot be used as static member. Suppose if I make here static, okay, then it is a static variable. It is not an instance variable. That is the reason we never use the static keyword before the instance variable. If you mark as this as a static variable, then it is a static variable. Okay, and instance variable cannot be accessed directly the static context. Okay, we have to create a object. Okay, object of the class, and by using the object reference, we can access the instance variables. Clear? Yeah. Then let's move on to the static variables rules. And same thing, declared inside the class, but outside of the method, whether you have a method, if you have a constructor outside of the constructor, if you have a block outside of the constructor. So within the class only we can declare. And so it is a like static variables are initialized at only once when this class is loaded. So what does mean this technical word is, when this class is loaded in the sense when your class is executed, so that time in the sense. Okay, so only the one-time memory allocation will happen for object level. So based on the object creation time, it will be carry out that memory allocations. Okay, and can be used that different kind of access modifier like public, protected, okay, and private, default. All those access modifier also we can use it, and also final also we can use it. Okay, and whenever the variable is declared as
Excuse me,
static.
Nagesh. What is the difference between the static and final?
Static and
Final, yeah. It looks same, final and both are same, but there is a difference between final and yeah. So what is the exact
yeah.
difference?
So basically static is a memory. Static in the sense it is a class level, right? So
Yeah.
suppose we mark along with this static final, we can represent this time. So when we can use, right? Final in the sense the number 5 is a final. So which means the 100 value will not be changed. So suppose if it is not there, finally is not there, then the static number value can be changed.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
it is not fixed. So
Okay.
whenever you combinationally used, so then it is 100 is fixed. Suppose in the real time in the banking transaction, right? So suppose if I declare a public, private, final static, okay, and a minimum balance. Okay, minimum balance is 5,000. Okay, which applies. Okay, it is an integer type int. So which applies, it is the final for all the account holders. Okay, it is a fixed. They have to maintain. Otherwise, there will be some kind of alerts to or fine will be there based on this particular variable. Okay. So every like every 15 days they will check every account whether they have maintained 500 or not, because it is a final decided factor. It will not change 600, 6,000, 7,000 later point of time. It is a fixed. When you have such a kind of time, so we used to use a final combination of final static.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
So basically, final means very simple is we cannot change the value. But if you put static means for better memory allocation, we are keeping such static, or is there another purpose is there?
Yeah, better memory allocation. We are making this one because this I told you, right? Later point of time I will tell you. So this is a basically I will. So we have a kind of two memory locations. Okay, one is a class level. Okay, in the memory point of time. So whoever like don't know the memory, let me brief you. So there is a kind of class level memory and a heap level memory. Okay, heap level memory in the sense it is that object we can store all the objects. So right now in the below we created one class reference object, right? That will refer here, and which means all the instance variables. Let me better I will give some explanation here. So let me withdraw. I will explain. Yeah. So please carefully listen. This is a very important topic. People will most confused. So there is a square bracket. I am locating kind of a static memory. Okay, class memory, static memory, and there is a kind of round objects. Okay. So let me write the text as well. Okay, class loader or class level memory. Okay, memory, and there are a heap. Okay, it is a heap memory, and where we can store the objects. Okay, the class object. And here we can store the only the static members. Okay, static things, better memory. Okay, let me show you that example as well. So whenever we create a object, let me show you that. Whenever we create object in the sense variable, what is the class name? Variable example, where v equal to new variable example. Okay, so this is the object creation. Okay, so whenever this is created, okay, in the memory, there is a heap memory is created as well as class level memory is created. Okay, so now this v is pointing to this one, and this class is pointing to this one. Okay, that is the first thing. Okay, it is a backend thing, and also what are the instance variables? What are the instance methods? Okay, so now it will come into here. Okay, so which means here, what are the instance variables? Age equal to how much? Age equal to how much? Nothing is declared. Then it will take default value as a 0. Let me come back. So what is the admit value? Admit number. So admit number is 1256. Okay. Similarly, for so number 1, number 2, all will be there here. All the instance related stuff. And also there is a one instance method. What is the method name here? 12th line. What is the method? Instance method. Test method. So all this will store in the heap memory. This is a one kind of object to this class. And so this particular static number 5. Where is the static number 5? Static number 5 will come under instance level. What is that? Instance static number 5 is 100. Okay, so please follow that. Okay, and there is a, yeah, this is the one. So suppose if you have one more instance method, it will come here. Sorry, one more static method, then it will come here. So let me explain again. So as I want to create one more class, one more object. So yeah, let me draw again. So as I told you, there are object heap memory and there is a class memory. Okay, so all the instance variable will come here. Okay, only the static variable will be there here. So it is 100, number 5, and here is 0 for age and 125. Okay, so like that. So how do you create object? So let me create object. So by using the class name variable example and v equal to new variable example. So now let's create another object, right? I can create a number of objects. So suppose if I create another object, so this is a better memory management. So v1, okay, equal to new variable example. Okay, so I can create a one variable and also I can create a one more object. I can create a number of objects as I told you. So whenever it is a 2, sorry for that, yeah, let me correct this one. v2 another object. So there are 3 objects. Whenever the object is created, right? I told you in the heap memory there is all instance variables, all instance methods will come into here. So there is a one more object is created, in the sense there is a one more heap memory is created, and all the instance variable instance variables and method will be there, will be loaded. Okay, will be there or will be loaded. Okay, and from here, so there is a one more object is created. Again, all the instance variables are initialized. Okay, instance variables and methods are available. So you see, so there are 3 different kind of objects we have, but there is a number or minimum balance. Let's take that minimum balance. Minimum balance is 5,000. So there are how many account holder we have? Account holder customer 1, C1, C2, C3, C4. So we have respect to a different kind of customers at different locations, but they need to maintain a common thing is minimum balance. So if I create this also like a non-static variable, then everywhere the memory will be usage here as well, right? So for suppose if I remove this particular static keyword and static keyword, so then it will be instance variable. Every object will be stored as a minimum balance. You got the point? So that is the case. So every object is a common value. We need a common kind of thing. So then you can go for a static only the class level variable. It is a one-time initialization. So whenever you create an object, the instance variables are initialized. So how many objects you can create, those many instance variables are vary from the object to object. Okay, so admin number 1, 2, 3, 4 for the first user. So he doesn't want the admin number, it may be different, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, 7. So here is a 5, 7, 5, 8 something. It vary that the different instance variable to different objects, but there is a common thing to the all the objects which we will specify that as a static. Okay, yeah. So
Close చేసేసావా
I hope it is.
క్లోజ్ ఉన్నాయా
I hope you clear, right? So please go and mute Srinivas. Your voice is coming here. Yeah. Okay. So then, yeah, let's move on to the next one. Variables, static variables done. Yeah. And the data types. So Java data types and different type of data types we have, right?
So how do you depend
why we use
the difference between main method and static method? Someone asked. Like when to use static methods? What can we say?
Sorry, come again.
When do we use static methods? If someone asks, right? In what cases they ask, like in interviews?
Yeah, so I told you that
What?
static methods were class level, but coming to the main method, it is a define entry point. That's what I am clearly explaining. And main method is a keyword. Okay, main is a keyword. Always it is a static. Okay, it will start the execution from here. But if we have
Can you
any
declare other
static
methods as
methods,
static? Can you declare other methods?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So we can declare a one more static method. So it is same like so. Yeah, you can. So it is also better management, like memory management. We can call without creating object. So you can call by class name. So how we call? By using the class name. So what is the class name? Variable dot example, variable dot example dot. What is the method name? Test m1 m2 method. Test m2 method. So if you have any static method in your class, you can call by using without creating object. Okay, so that is the case.
And can constructor be called a static method? No, right? We can't
No,
call.
no, no.
Okay.
We cannot. We cannot. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's move on to the topic Java data types. And so why we use data type in the sense. So already we know that what is a variable, right? The variable which can hold some value, some data, right? So, but we need to define the what type of data, what type of data we need to. Suppose if I declare the int. So, and also it depends upon the storage capability, the size. So based on the size, based on the type, the data types are categorized kind of two types. One is a primitive data type, okay, primitive data type and non-primitive data type. Okay, so primitive data types which are like a boolean, okay, and a char. So boolean in the sense we can have a true or false. Okay, true or either we can store a false. Okay, and character only represent store the character, single character only. Okay, so and byte you see that in the diagram itself. So byte is under the integer only. Okay, byte, short, int, long. There are four data types which are under same integer type. Why? So why? Because based on the size. So what is the byte size? Byte size is 8-bit, and we can store some range. Okay, minus 127 to 120, minus 127, 128 to plus 127 only. Some ranges are there. You can refer the internet. Based on the range, we can utilize. So, for example, suppose there is a variable age. Okay, age will be uh, like within the range. Suppose uh, mostly people will allow till this some cases, right? Exceptional cases. So because so in a human age, which will be 100, which we define, right? It is not more than 100 or more than 27, something like. So that case, you can go for byte. So it depends upon your criteria which you are going to use the data type. Based on the type, you can choose that primitive data types. Okay. Suppose if I take a account number, okay, bank account number. So suppose if I take a bank account number, so sorry, here it is a byte which can define 127 only, the highest range plus 127. Okay. Similarly, if I take a byte account number, okay, so bank account number. If I take this bank account number byte, its highest number is 127. So, but we have a customer more, right? So, based on the population, we have a customer like millions, right? So, we have to range. We need this kind of range of value. So, based on that, where the data will be fit, it will be categorized as an integer type, byte, short, int, long. Okay, so that is the integer data types. And the float data type and double, which represent as a okay decimal point. So you have any kind of decimal representation, you can go for that float data type, and double data type. Okay, so these are the data types, and also here there is a table which I declared size. Okay, the first one is a size, so byte, 16 byte, 8 bit, something like, and there is one more important column, so default values. So default value, as I told you, right, if you are not declared a value here, suppose, let me clear this one. Yeah, so here did not assign the value. Okay, there is an instance variable, I did not assign the value, and so what is, if I create an object and access this value, I will get default value. What is the integer default value here, which I represented? Integer default value is 0. Okay, so it is a defined. So whenever you instance variable is nothing is declared, then this default value automatically initialized while creating a object type. Okay, suppose if I declare a string type, let me explain that one. Yeah, so there is a name, string data type, and name, nothing is defined. Okay, let me access here. So by using the object reference, I'm accessing that. First one is a age, and second one is name. So here name is nothing is assigned, just declared. Age also nothing is assigned, just declared. So whenever the object creation is happened. So as I told you, right, in the memory allocation, all that instance variables will come, right? So if the initialize value is there, then initialized values will be there. Okay. So let me clear again. So age will come as 0, and add bit is already initialized. Then it will come 1, 2, 5, 6. So which are not defined, the default value will come. Name is not defined, so it is a string type, and null will come. And let's see that value will be printed in the console. See, the age admit number, first print is admit number 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, 6. Age is 0, and name is a string format, and by default it is null, and it is a static variable number 5, which is declared 100. So that is the one. Okay, so this default value will come, please. Okay, yes, any questions here? And coming to the next one, non-primitive. So there are like two, like a string and arrays. We'll take a next session. Okay, so these are the non-primitive data types, string and arrays. We have like these two are predefined data types in Java. So we have some kind of functions, methods we have. So we'll see that those. Okay, yeah. Let's move on to the operators. Java operators. So Java operators are a special symbol to perform some calculations, some operations, not only calculations, operations on the variable, on the values. So basically, this operators will perform the actions on the variable of the variable. Variables are values. Okay, so you can, by using the variable a plus b, right? So a is a value and b value. So that case, or you can declare direct value as well. Okay, so based on that, we have many, but I categorize very important one, arithmetic operator, the first one. Okay, so arithmetic operator, it is a kind of mathematical kind of thing, but let me, where we can use, let's see that. Okay, so arithmetic operators are used for simple arithmetic operations on the primitive and non-primitive type. Okay, so here is a addition, subtraction, multiplication, okay, and division and mod. So let me create some example, then you can understand properly where we are going to use, how we are going to use. Let me create one example class. operators example. Main method. Let me declare local variable int a equal to 10. Okay, and so we can declare a int b equal to 3. Okay, so then we can perform some arithmetic operations. Operators. Okay. So here let me use a print statement. So here you can see there is a variable called a which holds a integer data type as a 10. Okay, so the data type is integer. A is a variable name which holds 10 values, and also like second variable is a data type int. B is a variable and value is 3. So let me first operator is plus operator. Okay, let me use that addition operator. Okay, so generally I will provide here expression a plus b. Okay, a plus b. So here we can use a plus b actual value. Okay, so a, what is the a value? A value is a 10 and b value is a 3, and addition operation will be performed, and result will be 13. Okay, addition, and let me add here some keyword result equal to. Yeah, so let me run this one. You come to. You see addition operation, addition operator or operator. Okay, so and just arrow. Yeah, addition operator. Yes. Now you can see. So let me add other things also. Let me add a next what we have all three, right? So let me take it from here. Abstraction. Addition is done and abstraction.
Nagesh, sorry to interrupt. The
Yes.
answer is wrong, right? A plus B.
A plus B.
Plus 3,
Correct.
13.
Correct. Yes. Nobody. That's what. Yeah. I intentionally kept that one. Yeah. Let me tell you that solution for that.
Okay.
There are multiple topics, so which we cannot explain in 8 time. So they are all interlinked. That is the case. We need to take slowly. So that is the case. Yeah. So let me model, and yes. So here the thing is, we can apply operators in the string format also, or string level also. So whenever you apply string level, it treats as a string. So that is the reason 10 plus 3. So it concatenated. So that is the reason 10 not an arithmetic operator. It is a plus symbol in concatenated. So 10 beside it is added. So it merged it actually. So it merged in the sense it added beside the 10, something like. So to do that, we need to make a bracket. Okay. So there are two solutions. So we can send here int a equal to, or int result equal to, or addition result equal to. So let me tell you, addition result equal to a plus b. So this is a one solution. So we can place it here. Okay. So then this time we will get proper result. You see. Okay, 13 is the result. Okay. Either we can make a bracket here. So simply we can provide the additional bracket and place the operators. So it is a subtraction. We can do the subtract. Okay, and it is a mod multiplication asterisk. So make a bracket, extra bracket within that A as multiplication into B. And for this division, right? So division, so we have a forward slash, use the bracket, and this one, and also here we have a mod ampersand, mod operator. Yeah, so you can define separately, or you can add extra braces like brackets. Then it will be do the actual arithmetic operations. Okay. Now this time you will get the proper result. Okay. So arithmetic operators which can use for arithmetic calculations, which are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and mod operator, and also apply for a string concatenation. Okay, adding a two strings. So you want to add a two lines of string or two words. Okay, two lines of string or two words of strings, words also. Okay, suppose I will declare a string 1 equal to hello. Okay, so there is a one more string I want to create. String 2 is like hello tester, something like. So then you can print within the same or single word. So that time string 1 plus string 2. So this is the string concatenation. Also we can use the plus operator. Okay, so we are concatenating two strings or two lines of strings. So this result will be like hello. The result will be like this. So this will come followed by hello tester. So let's see that. In the print statement, we used to use for concatenating two strings. Here you see hello tester. So you want some gap. So again, you see there is a within that plus symbol. Okay, we have to separate with the two plus symbols, and within the double quotation, and you have to give some space. So first string and plus symbol and double quotation, so which represents some gap, and the second string plus symbol start with second string variable name. So then this time you can see hello tester as a between the gap. So right format. Okay. Yeah. Let's see that next what are the operators we have? Assignment operators. So we saw one assignment, right? Equal to where we saw. Let's see that. Okay, assignment operators. So we have a equal to operator, and you see that there is a plus followed by equal to. Okay, so what does mean is add and assign value. Okay, so this is just assign the value, and if you have a before the equal to, first add the value and then assign. Similarly, same thing like minus, so subtract the value then assign, and same thing multiply the value and assign. Division, same thing, something like. Okay, let's see one example for this as well. Okay, let me add here. So I am declaring int number 1 equal to some let's 100. Okay, so now what is this is a assignment first operator. Okay, in that assignment we have a assignment value, so we assign 100 in that. Where is my cursor? Yeah. Okay, so this is the one. Assignment operator is equal to. Equal to is used for assigning any value to the variable, any variable, something like. Okay, now the second one is like a plus and equal to. Okay, so now if I system.out.println, okay, so the number, okay, the number plus equal to, okay, so let me declare here. How to print this one? Print mechanism also kind of stuff here. So let me do that as some kind of brackets only. So there's a number plus equal to, I'm incrementing, adding a 3. Okay. So now what does mean is number 1. Okay, I want to add a 3. So to do that, okay, to do that, what is the variable name? My variable name is F. Sorry, number 1. And I want to increment 3 and I want to assign same number to that. So this is the one. Okay, basically I'll separate this word. Okay, so let me recap again. So if I declare this number and plus equal to of 3 is correct. Okay, number 1. Okay, so what does mean is, so number 1 is equal to again number 1 plus 3. So here let me remove the number 1. 1 will confuse our again. Okay, the number. So the number is 100. We are incrementing plus and assign 3. So which means 103. So we can write like this. So this is the actual statement. Okay, add the number 3 and store in the same number. So instead of the both are same, this 23 line and 24 line are same, but better for representation. So we used to use the 23rd one. Okay, so both are same. So that is the case. So now we can add here. Okay, so number incrementing by 3. So there is a number already holding a 100 value, plus add my number 3 and assign to the same number, same variable. Okay, that's what it is. So let me do that other operations like minus. So minus 5 and let me do that. What is another operation? So multiply by 4. Okay, it is also number. Let me clear this one. Okay, and let me change in this side also and divide by 3. Here also divide minus 5 star multiplication and assign and division. The last one is mod. Mod by 2. So here I'm subtracting by 5. Here I multiply by 4. So now and here is 4. Okay, so let me think that first and we will see the result. Okay, we'll calculate the result first. So now you can see it is 100 and what we are doing, we are adding a on top of 100 13, sorry 3. So 103 is the value, first value is 103. Okay, the second value already we are having a 103 as a number. We can do the minus 5 and assign. So what is the minus 5 in the sense? What is the value? 8 and 9, 98. So we have a 98. So again 98 into 4. Okay, so this is the value. So the result by 4 and result by mod 2, something like. Okay, let me see that. So there is a one operation, it is incorrect here, it is a mod here. Okay, so this is the way it will be executed. Let's see the result. Yeah. Something concatenation wrong. What happened? Already we raised this one, right? The symbol F3, correct. Mhm. Here is incorrect. So let me store a one new variables button. Stop writing here. What is the wrong here? Let me check. Give me a second. Number plus y equal to 3. I dictate proper only. Let me correct one. What is wrong? It is wrong. Okay, maybe due to this one. It's very bad. Put bracket, one more bracket. Okay, let me bring out this one to back. Let me remove the concatenation. 103. Okay. So it printed correct only, but there is a you need to provide us some gaps. That is misleading us. 1 second. So this 3 is concatenated immediately. So now we are keeping some kind of gaps, then it will be fulfilled. Let's check this one. Operation is doing correct only. And yes. Yeah, you see. So, yeah. So if I remove this one, the result will correct. So now, first is 100, then 103. So then after minus, 98. Yeah. So 103, 98, and it is performed as a 98 into 40. Yeah. Okay. So 4 and mod 98 and 0. It is a reminder, right? So mod in the sense, what are the reminder it is there? It will become 98 by 2 in the sense 0 is the reminder. Okay, so it got correct. So this is the way where we can use any data manipulation, data representation we have. Okay, yes. The next one is a relation operator. This also very important. So most of the time we will check that whether both are equalities, okay, greater than or less than. Going forward we'll check. Okay, so but this relation operator, we have some result that is a Boolean result. So what is a Boolean result? Which can return either true or false. Boolean data type which can hold two variables, two values, which is first one is true or false or true. So which means by relation operator, if you use any relation operator, basically it will check the equalities, whether both are equal. Both are equal, then true. It returns true, Boolean type. If it is not equal, then false. So if there are two variables greater than or less than, they check that equalities. Okay. So let's see that for this example. Okay. So relation operator example. Let me create a example here. What we call comparison operator or operators. So we can declare a integer data type. Why we are taking integer? We are familiar with the integer, right? That is the case. Integer 10, int a, or you can take a number 1 or whatever. Yeah, it is already there. So number 1, number 2, number 2, number 2 is 3, and number 3 is a variable name which hold the value is 5. So these are the 3 values are defined. Okay, so now we can use system.out.println, and which can apply all the comparison operators. Okay, so first one is a equal to b, or less than. Okay, a less than b. We can give some colon and some space, because last time we have some issue, right? So space and the bracket a greater than b, whether it is true or false. So whether here we have no name here, right? So number 1 and number 2. Okay, so number 2 and number 1. Number 2 is greater than or less than?
Less
Yeah,
than.
number 2 is less than number 1.
Then it is a true, right?
Yes.
Yes, it is a true, because number 1 is greater than number 2, or less than number 2, something like. Okay. Similarly, we can provide number less than, so reverse order, something like. Okay, so let's see these two and we'll come back, write others. Okay, so the number 1, 10 is less than 2, right? It is true. It is greater than, then it is false. Okay, similarly, we can use, there are another way, another type, like less than or equal to. Okay, less than or equal to. There are 2 conditions, greater than or equal to. So suppose number 2 also has a 10. So that time also it will check that. Okay, equalities. Whether it is a less than or equal to, or less than. Both the condition will operate. Okay, so let's see that. Yeah. Similarly for this one also. Okay, and you can check the equalities. You can change to number 5 here. So number, there is an equality. So number 2 and 3, whether equal or not. So double equal to number 2 and number 3. So this is the way we can verify that. Yeah, it is true. And also not equal to. There is one more check is not equal to. We can compare with number 1 to not equal to, there is a this one. So here number 1, number 3 is not equal, because number 1 is 10, number 3 is 5. Sorry. Yeah. And then last one, I think, logical operators, right? Yeah, logical operators. Basically, we have like AND operations and OR operations. So whether we have a multiple condition, okay, one or more condition. So these are the conditions, right? But we have a one or more condition. So that time we can use AND operator, okay, OR operators. Okay, not operator already we used it. Okay, so let me see one example for this one, and we can finish the session. But we can take example Boolean. So there is a Boolean value. How to declare a Boolean? Boolean, and the value is x equal to true. And we can store a Boolean, another value. There are two values only, right? So Boolean can hold only two values, whether true or false. That's it. No other values are there. So now you can see that system.out.println. So now within that x, okay, and y, okay, both are like we are checking the conditions. Okay, so place symbol, and so here we can say AND operation. By either one condition it will check. Okay, here we check both. Both are true, then only true, something like. Okay, so similarly for the OR operation. So OR operation, so one of them is true, then it finds. Okay, then it return true. So what I mean to say here is you are following a multiple condition. Suppose the condition 1 which returns true, there is one more condition which returns false, then this operator, okay, fail because both are true. So let's see this one and we'll add the above example as well. Then you come to know. Yeah. So both of them are true only. It will come true. Okay. So here is one x is true, but y value is false. Then it will return false only because both of them are true only. It will return true, something like. So in that either one is fine, one is true, then it returns true, something like. Okay. So let me add you one example here, and which can work, right? This is the one. Both are equal. Okay, both are equal, and both are not equal. Okay, so let's see that. So number, let me explain the value as well, then you can come to know. So there are two conditions here. So this condition is, what is that? Equality of two, number 2. Number 2 is, what is the number 2? Is 5. And number 3 also F5. Both are equal, then returns true. Okay, then again you can check that number 1 is 10, always not equal to number 3, yeah, which is also true. So when both are true, then AND operation also true, something like you need to think. Okay, so whenever we have a multiple condition and we need to take a decision, okay, so such cases we can use this one logic. Okay, you see second true, something like. Okay, so I think, yeah, so I think that's all about the session. So I will stop here, stop recording.